Welcome to Beadie Monday, a weekly tutorial where we take one random item each week from this box to redo it. You'll be able to see everything that's in that box in my Pony Bead Creations video. You can find that video along with all my past Beadie Monday videos in my Pony Beads playlist. Don't see something in that video but you'd like to see a tutorial anyway? Just leave a request in the comments in any one of the videos. Also, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, and also check out my Etsy. My links can usually always be found in the description box of any video, but if you're unsure if I'm on a social media platform, just search Beadaholic94. Now let's jump right into this week's Beadie Monday. This week's Beadie Monday is going to be a little bit different. Not only do we have a change of venue, but instead of going through the box and picking one at random, since I have a craft show coming up and I've been remaking a bunch of stuff and making new stuff for it, I instead purred out something that I am going to be remaking anyway, just to save a little bit of time. So this week we are going to do Plankton from SpongeBob. This one desperately needed to be remade from the box. There's a few others in the box that I'm going to be remaking for the craft show, so the next couple of Beadie Mondays might be like this one. But don't worry, we will return to normal shortly. So first, in order to make Plankton, you are going to need some string. I'm using this brand. It's a flat plastic string, and I'm using this type of green, so it matches pretty well. Now you're going to take a long amount, double your string, so put your two ends together, and then go down to the other end. The other end, you should see this loop formed. Then you can let go of the tips. And now you're going to, if you have flat string like mine, which I do recommend for these, you're going to make sure that they lay on top of each other nicely. They're not all twisted or tangled. Now you're going to do this knot. Now this makes it so you can just put this on your existing keyring rather than having to use a new keyring every single time, or you can hang this from somewhere. So now we're going to take one end at a time and start to string on all beads. For the first row, you're going to put on 3 green beads. Now you're going to bring that down to the knot. If you're flat string, you need to make sure that the string is going the right way, that there's no tangles, otherwise that will show on the sides. Now you're going to pick up the other end of your string. Now you're holding the beaded string in your left hand and the other string in your right hand. You're going to put the string from your right hand through all of the beads on your left. So now your beads should be going through 2 strings like this. Now just simply purr tight. This will create your first row. Now we're going to add his little antennas. To do this, you're going to take 1 string at a time, string on 4 green beads, and bring it down. From here, you're going to skip this first bead, so they're be closest to the point. I'm going to skip that and go through the next 3. Purr this tight. Now you should have something similar to this. And now what we're going to do is go through the closest bead on that row, the first row that you created. So if you're starting on the left, it should be the bead, the leftmost bead. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. So start by stringing on your 4 beads, skip the 1, go back down the 3, and then go back through the last bead here. Now his little antennas are done. Now we're going to continue our rows exactly like the first row until we get down to the arms. So you're going to put your beads on your left string and then go through them all with your right string. Your second row will consist of 5 green beads. You should be at this point now. Don't worry if the rows don't want to sit together very nicely. We will be reinforcing it at the end to change that. Your third row should be 1 green, 3 black, and 1 green. You should be at this point now. Your next row should be 1 green, 3 yellow, and 1 green. You should be at this point now, and now we are ready to start the arms. The arms are quite simple. It's very similar to the antenna. You're going to take 1 string at a time again and string on 3 beads, 3 green beads. Bring those down, skip the 1 bead, the last one that you strung on, and go through the next 2. Hold that close to the body and purr your string tight. So there's 1 arm, and then we are going to do the other side. Unlike the antennas, we will just be leaving these. You're not going to go through any of the beads. We're just going to leave these and then start our rows just like normal. So now let's do the other arm. 3 green beads, bring them down, skip the first one that you strung on and go through the next 2. Push it close to the body and pull tight. So there's our arms, and now we're going to keep beading with the strings just like normal. Your next row will consist of a green, a yellow, a red, a yellow, and a green. This is where you should be at now. Your next row should be 1 green, 3 yellow, and 1 green. This is where you should be at now. Now your next 3 rows will consist of 5 green beads. This is where you should be at this point. And now our last row will be 3 green beads. And now we are going to do his legs before we reinforce. Just the same as the arms, going to take one side at a time, string on 3 green beads, move them down to the body, going to skip that first bead that you strung on, and go through the next 2. Push those closer to the body and pull tight. So there's one leg, and now we're going to do that on the other side. So now you're done with all your beading. At this point, most patterns would tell you to do an unsightly knot right here. That doesn't look good, plus your pattern is still a little wonky around. So what we're going to do instead is reinforce it. Take each side of my strings, cut the tip at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to start on the right. My string is coming out of that right leg there. So I'm going to go through first that last row. Go through on the right. Your string should be coming out of the left here. You're going to pull that tight. And now you're coming out of this side. Now you're going to bring your string through this row. So you're going to do that for both strings. You're just going to go weaving back and forth all the way until you get to the top. Notice how I kind of skipped the leg there. We're going to just go to this row. That's what you're going to do with the arms here. Just an arm, act like they're not there. Go from this row to this row. And then go all the way to the top. I'll meet you up at the top. And now we're at the top. So now it's very simple. Just get your scissors and you can cut as close as you can possibly get to both strings. No knots. When you're on the side with the loop, just be careful not to cut the loop. This is my new one, and this was my old one.
So the few differences is the color string I use. As you can see, the string is pink, and this one was like the one I used was like a see-through green, so it matched better. Also with this one, I went back through here, so you could see the string there. And I also did not reinforce all the way up, so it's a little more floppy. Also, I didn't do the antennas the same way, so you can see like where I cut there, and it's actually coming apart here.
So I've definitely learned a lot of new tricks and tips along the way in the years that I've been doing these. So this one's coming to the craft show with me, and this one's going back in the box. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do Beadie Monday like this every Monday. On Fridays or sometime during the week, I usually do DIYs. Currently, every Friday is a back to school DIY. And during the week, you will have extra videos as well, such as subscription box unboxings, including craft supply ones, hauls, and once in a while Nico Atsume videos. Sometime next week or the week after, I will be doing a craft update to show all the things that I've been making and that's coming to the craft show. And then I might also be vlogging during the craft show, or maybe show you just how I'm organizing and displaying my stuff. Thanks for watching.